9 matchups. Best 2 out of 3 winner represents the United States at the World Championships in Kazakhstan this September. The format today is I'm going to introduce each wrestler, match by match. I'll give you an opening statement, and then I want you to say one thing about your opponent. Anything you want to say. That's it. We'll get at it. So, first match of the evening will be 72 kilograms. We're going to see your World Team Trials champion. She's a 3-time U.S. Open champ, 3-time U23 World Team member, 2-time Junior World Bronze, 2012 Cadet Silver, 4-time WCWA champion, representing Sun-Kissed Kids and Hawkeye Wrestling Club, Kayla Miracle.
Thank you. All right, Kayla Miracle. All I have to say is, everyone knows this is a rivalry. We've gone at it, 6 times in the past year and a half. So, and we always bring it. It's always fun to watch. And whether it be on the mat or at camp playing cards, playing nerds, there's competition there. So we're gonna have fun.
All right. Her opponent was 2018 World Bronze medalist, 2-time World Team member, a 3-time WCWA champion, and in 2013 she was 5th at the Junior World Championships representing Titan Mercury Wrestling Club, Mallory Velty. Jordan.
Kayla always beats me at cards, but we'll see about wrestling.
All right. Thank you. Next bout on the card will be at 53 kilograms. Our first competitor was a World Team Trials champion. She was a 2008 University World Champion and a 2-time WCWA champion representing Titan Mercury Wrestling Club, Catherine Shy.
Thanks, Catherine Shy here. Really excited to be competing again after a long break. And Sarah and I have wrestled a lot over the years, so it'll be a great match.
Her opponent qualified for Final X by winning a silver medal last year at the World Championships. This is a 2-time World Team member and a 2-time WCWA champion representing the NYAC and Olympic Training Center, Sarah Hildebrandt.
Hello, Sarah Hildebrandt. Catherine and I have wrestled a bunch, so really excited for a great fight tomorrow, and also just really appreciate a lot she does for women's wrestling and the growth of the sport. So just a shout out to that, and that's really awesome. So excited for tomorrow.
Next bout will be at 76 kilograms. Our first competitor was your World Team Trials champion. She's 2019 U23 World Team Trials champion, representing Titan Mercury Wrestling Club, Precious Bell.
Ooh, that was not set up right. Hi guys, what's good? I'm Precious. I want to say how thankful I am to be here. I want to thank Titan Mercury for making this possible for me, and also the University of Wesleyan letting me wrestle at their facility and everything. I appreciate it. Adeline, I guess I hope you get used to my face, because I'm always going to be there from now on, and I appreciate what you did for all of us young girls, paving that way for us to be able to have this opportunity. I appreciate it.
Her opponent, she was 2018 World Champion, 4-time World Champion representing the New York Athletic Club, Elaine Gray.
Hi everybody, Elaine Gray. I've been lucky enough to get to watch Precious compete a lot this year, and she's been really dominant, so I'm kind of excited to see the 2 top people at this weight class go at it tomorrow.
All right. Our next match is at in Greco-Roman at 130 kilograms. Your World Team Trials champion. He was a 2-time Cadet World Team member, 3-time Junior World Team member, 2017 Cadet Gold, 2018 Junior Bronze, 2018 U23 World Team member, Sun-Kissed Kids, Colton Schultz.
Hey everybody, Colton Schultz. Blessed to be here, very grateful. And as far as Adam Kuhn, he's a great wrestler. Was able to get USA Greco back on the podium. Got a lot of respect for him, ready to wrestle tomorrow.
All right. His opponent was silver last year at the World Championships. He's a 2-time Junior World medalist. In 2011, he was a Cadet World Champ representing NYAC and Cliff Keen Wrestling Club, Adam Kuhn.
Thank you. Just really excited to be here. obviously love competing, and I got a really great opponent that I'll be facing tomorrow. I have a lot of respect for him, and obviously he has much better hair than I do. So, he's going to be rocking that one tomorrow. So excited to compete, and let's get after it.
Next bout will be at 61 kilos, our World Team Trials champion. He's a 3-time University National Champion and a 2007 Junior World Team member representing Titan Mercury Wrestling Club and the NJRTC, Tyler Graff.
First off, I want to thank coaches and people who were responsible for helping me get to this point. I want to thank Final X and really everyone who was responsible with putting this together, FloWrestling, USA Wrestling, etc. For Joe, I mean, he's obviously an accomplished opponent, and this is all an opportunity. I'm going to have fun tomorrow, so I look forward to the match.
And his opponent, 2018 World Bronze Medalist, 2-time Pan Am Gold Medalist, representing Titan Mercury Wrestling Club and the Valley RTC, Joe Colon.
Joe Colon here. Tyler, he's a great competitor. I'm looking forward to tomorrow to a great match. Ready to let it fly.
Thanks, Joe. Our next bout will be at 97 kilograms. Our World Team Trials champion is a 3-time World Team Trials / Final X runner-up, representing the Sunkissed Kids and Cyclone RTC, Kyvan Gatson.
Kyvan Gatson, God is great. I'm super excited to be here and wrestle, and there's not much to be said else other than that.
And his opponent was silver last year at the 2018 World Championships. He's a 3-time World and Olympic champion, representing Titan Mercury and the Ohio RTC, Kyle Snyder.
Yeah, thankful to be here. Just want to say thank you to Titan Mercury and to the Ohio RTC. I feel as good as I've ever felt. I feel like I'm in the best condition of my life. I feel as strong as I've ever felt. And in regards to Kyvan, I like to match up with Kyvan because he presents some challenges that I need to work on in regards to like closing the distance when I wrestle opponents and different things like that. So I've been working on it in the practice room, not just for him, but for everybody that I'm going to be competing against. So it's an exciting matchup for me so I can see where I've improved. And he's athletic. He's a good wrestler, so I'm excited about it.
Thank you, Kyle. Next bout will be 70 kilograms. Our World Team Trials champion is a 3-time World Team member, 2-time World medalist, and in 2014 he was silver in the University World Championships representing Sunkissed Kids and Nebraska Wrestling Training Center, and he just had a baby last night, right?
Yeah, yes,
last
sir.
night.
Yeah.
James Green.
Thank you for putting me on the spot. Yeah, we had my wife. She had our baby girl, Glory J. Green, at 1:26 a.m. So long night for me. Here, I'm excited to wrestle. Really, for Ryan, it's kind of a great opponent. But as far as wrestling and how I feel, I'm here in Lincoln, in front of the home crowd. Possibly one of the last times we get to have trials here. So, I mean, I'm putting on the line. I'm throwing everything I got into it, and I'm looking to have fun. I know last year was a little slow for you guys. Won a couple one-point matches, but I'm looking to put up points. I'm going to get some 4s and some 2s. So, I mean, I'm just letting you know now. Just be ready. We might come off the stage too. So, you guys sitting in the front row, be prepared to catch us. Thank you.
Thanks, James. And his opponent was the U.S. Open champion this year, and in 2017, he was a Junior World Silver medalist, representing Titan Mercury Wrestling Club in the Chicago RTC, Ryan Deacon.
Yeah, hi. First of all, congratulations on your baby girl. Yeah, so James is a great competitor, and excited to strap it up and scrap tomorrow.
All right. Moving along, our co-main event of the evening, 57 kilograms. World Team Trials champion, also a 2-time World Team member. 2017, he was silver At the World Championships 2014, he was a junior bronze, and in 2011, he was a cadet world team member representing Titan Mercury in the Hawkeye Wrestling Club, Thomas Gilman.
Yeah, so growing up, my mom taught me well, and one thing she taught me was if you have nothing good to say, don't say it at all. So I'll just leave it at that.
All right. And his opponent was a U.S. Open champion, 2017 Junior World Champ, two-time Junior World Bronze medalist. In 2015, he was a Cadet World Bronze, and in 2017, he was a U23 World Team member, representing Titan Mercury Wrestling Club and the Cowboy RTC Dayton Fix.
I'm just really looking forward to tomorrow. It's I'm ready for a war, so I've had a good training camp, and I'm ready for tomorrow.
All right. And our main event of the evening, 74 kilograms. First competitor was your World Team Trials champion. He's a two-time U.S. Open champion. 2017, he was 5th at the U23 Worlds, and he's a 4-time NCAA finalist representing Titan Mercury and the Illinois RTC, Isaiah Martinez.
How's it going? There's really not much to say. I'm ready for tomorrow. I'm excited, and I'm happy to be the marquee matchup, the last one in the lineup, right? And we're doing it in his hometown, so it's just going to be great. I'm ready for a fight, and I've never been more prepared in my entire life, and this is what I've been thinking about for the last 365 days, and just been preparing, and I'm hungry, and I'm just ready. I'm ready to go.
And his opponent, he was bronze at the 2018 World Championships, a 5-time World and Olympic champion, 2-time bronze medalist, representing the Sunkist Kids and Nebraska Wrestling Training Center, Jordan Burrows.
Oh, man, you guys are going to have to excuse me. I'm like shivering up here. I just got out of the cold tub, and as my weight comes down, it's a little chilly. But, man, when I was a kid, my mom taught me. She taught me well. She told me if you didn't have anything good to say, not to say anything at all. No, I'm just messing with you, Thomas. I love you. Listen, I'm excited. I'm excited about this opportunity. Anytime I get a chance to compete, I'm going to be ready. I've been doing this for a long time. I'm 9 years in. And looking forward to just competing against Isaiah. I think that all summer I watched the improvements that he made as an individual and as a wrestler. He matured, he improved, both physically and technically. And so I know that tomorrow he's had made adjustments since the last time we got a chance to compete. But so have I. And for me, I've always been a guy that's continuously tried to develop and evolve in this sport, and that's why I've been around for so long. And so if you look at the landscape of the amount of guys that have been retiring this year, I think Tony Ramos, Chase Pammy, BJ Futrell, all of these guys that were in my class. I'm the last of a dying breed, really the last of an era. And I think the reason why I've been able to stick around so long is because of the evolution that I've continuously tried to do in my career, the progression, and really just that hunger. It's insatiable, and it doesn't stop tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to it.
All right, thank you, Jordan. And now Willie's got a microphone. We'll open up to the audience for questions.
Hi, this question's for Mallory Velty. You're a 2018 bronze world medalist. You've had success at both recent Beat the Streets events, and you're ranked 3rd in the UWW rankings. What do you attribute this success to?
I think consistency in my training. Not much has changed, but just little technical things. I think, just as Jordan said, like constantly evolving and becoming better has paid off this year and last year. Yeah, definitely.
Questions for Dayton Fix. Dayton, after the World Team Trials, where Thomas said that you actually were the one that had adjustments to make. Do you agree with that? And if so, what were those areas where you need to adjust?
I mean, there's always room to improve, and obviously he was probably referring to the edge wrestling on the dropping down in the zone, and you know, one way to fix that is not to get in that position. So it's something I've been working on, and I'm looking forward to competing tomorrow.
This is for Kayla and Mallory. You guys are very familiar opponents. So as Jordan was talking about the evolution, I mean, like, how do you guys continue to grow your wrestling where you have the edge on the other one? You can start with Mallory and then Kayla.
Most of the year I'm thinking about international competition. You know, we're not trying to, well, we are trying to win this, but we're really trying to become the best for our country. So I think just becoming the best wrestlers we can, at least for myself as I can, will help me win against Kayla. And then I think she makes me be really disciplined. So that's like something that I really am grateful for. Thanks, Kayla. She makes me really disciplined in my position. So yeah.
For me, I'm a completely different person from what I was, a year ago. I made big moves. I moved to Iowa, joined the Hawkeye Wrestling Club, and my wrestling has just changed. I've got great coaches. We got Mark Perry and the Brands brothers. I have amazing partners. Three others are competing. Well, one already made the team, and she's my warm-up partner. So just that, right over there. Just that amazing training environment, just being held accountable and just kind of hitting that low, winning the first match last year and then losing the second two. It stings, especially when we've competed before. We wrestled at the Open last year, and then we wrestled 2 times after Final X. I just know where I'm at and just continuing to get better and trying to, like I said, it's a rivalry, but I'm going to try and create that distance, make that spread.
Hey, Kayla, I have a question for you. Do you get tired? I heard Forrest say if you train at Iowa, you don't get tired. Is that true?
LFG. LFG.
Questions for Colton, Ryan, Adeline, and Tyler. What's interesting is all 4 of you are from Colorado. And in recent memory, I don't think we've had that much representation from Colorado. What's it like to have grown up in that state and wrestle there and develop your talents there and now have the opportunity to go from Colorado to the national team at a world stage? I guess you can start with Colton.
It's been a blessing being so close to the OTC. I think recently there's been a lot more people taking advantage of it, which is good. It's good for the state, and we've just been competing on the national level, doing everything we can to be the best in the country and then the best in the world. So I don't think it matters where you're coming from, but I think we're all proud to be from Colorado, and we're taking advantage of every opportunity we get.
Yeah, kind of going off that, I think Colorado's a great state and definitely kind of on the come up with wrestling. Just blessed to grow up around a bunch of really good people, and I think there's a lot of really good wrestling minds in Colorado. And yeah, so there's a lot of help there, and it's really cool that there's a bunch of people coming from Colorado.
Yeah, we do have a lot of Colorado people this week, huh? I was actually just talking to Coach Steiner about the fact that I've known him for over half my life. I came up to the training center when I was 14 years old, so it's been a long journey and a relationship where I've gotten to build and grow around the Olympic Training Center and develop as a wrestler and be around a lot of great athletes. And like the other two said, it's pretty cool how a lot of people just stay. I think it's because of the mountains, but we get all that knowledge that kind of generates in Colorado, and those coaches just kind of stick around and finally ending up sticking into freestyle and Greco and changing the culture in Colorado wrestling.
Yeah, I think it's huge. I think the Olympic Training Center's played a big, vital part of, seeing the success we're having now with the 4 people wrestling in the Final X from Colorado. I think it's just putting more people from Colorado on the map and giving hopefully more kids opportunities that have goals that want to be in the stage and reach their goals of being a world Olympic champion at some point. But hopefully it's a good motivator, and happy to be a part of it when there's 4 of them instead of just 1.
And I'm curious if it's the altitude. It might just be our blood.
Hey guys, as I listen to Mark talk about your clubs, I realized that of the 18, there's 10 of you from Titan Mercury. And if a couple of you want to talk on how important Titan Mercury's been to your development and also to the development of the sport in general in the United States.
I don't think that Final X would be possible without Titan Mercury and the help of Andy Barth, right? Like made all of us come here, like 10 of us, all of our coaches, all of our support staff. So I think it's been pivotal in the sport, and without Andy and Titan Mercury, like, this wouldn't be possible. So I can just say thank you. That's about it.
Yeah, like she was saying, I mean, I'm thankful and blessed to be a part of Titan Mercury. What they've done for the sport of wrestling and growing it is huge. And for me growing, I mean, they've back in 2015 when I first started really competing after college, I mean, they gave me the opportunity to go overseas and compete and get that experience. And without that, I mean, I wouldn't be here where I am today. I wouldn't have the experience and to go overseas and win a world bronze medal, And I mean, I was ready to go through them, and it's very important. Thank you.
Yeah, I think Titan Mercury does an awesome job taking care of the athletes, and yeah, really thankful for all the support for us and for the sport of wrestling. They've done a great job, and it's just really thankful and amazing what they've been able to do.
Yeah, growing up, my dad would always ask me if I was not just working hard, but if I was doing more than anybody else would do. And when I think about Titan Mercury, I carried over that mindset going into college, and I started being a Titan Mercury athlete, I think, in 2015. And I've asked them for a lot of favors in regards to going and training different places, going overseas, bringing people from all over the world to come in and train with me. And they've shared the same mindset where they don't just want to do something normal, but they want to do something extraordinary. And I think all of us Titan Mercury athletes, all the athletes here, we don't just want to be normal, but we want to do something great. And it's just amazing to have clubs that are willing to support those type of people with those type of goals and that mindset. So super thankful for Wayne and Andy and everybody, Debbie and everybody who's in the Titan Mercury crew.
Yeah, I wanted to say thank you again to them. Honestly, this wouldn't be possible without them. I'm a college student. I know everyone in here was in college once. I work literally an 8-hour job. I wake up at 7 in the morning and I don't finish until 3:30 in the afternoon just to scrap money to take care of myself, and to have them basically take away all my worries about how I'm going to get here has sincerely blessed me, because if you had seen how much it took for me to save for the U.S. Open, boy.
I'll just say a few words. I think just gratitude, right? Gratefulness for Titan Mercury and their support staff, and just the planning. Like, I know before the U.S. Open, the trials and the Final X, like, there's emails coming in like, where do you want to fly out? Does this work? And they're so flexible, and they understand the support role and how important they are to just championship performance. And for me, it's like, I don't have to worry about all the planning. My coaches don't have to worry about things like that, and it just, what they do is they provide so much support for our dreams, and again, just so grateful for them.
This is for Thomas. In your post-match interview, you said one of the things you might have to do or that you could do better, is work the officials in the match a little more and to put that in your advantage. Could you expand on that a little bit?
Yeah, I don't know if work the official is the right terminology after last week, but just paying attention more, just being more savvy and smarter. It's not really what I'm known for, as being too smart, but I'm not in school, but I'm still studying, so I'm trying to just be a little bit smarter out there on the mat, not bang my head against the wall and try and find the door. So just paying attention to the ref if he's making a call, and I got to make an adjustment. So that's what I meant by that.
Jordan, you mentioned this to start, and we posted a clip yesterday from, I think, after you beat David Taylor. You've wrestled every great wrestler at 163 pounds that this country's had to offer. How often do you have to look back at those old battles before you start looking forward to prepare for a guy like Isaiah?
What do you mean, look back?
Look back and think about how many guys you've had to go through, and maybe the mindsets that you've had to go through all those different competitors.
I think it's a beautiful thing. We had a conversation Christian Piles and I when we were in New York City for Beat the Streets this year, and we discussed legacy. And within that legacy, I think a lot of times there's a bit of forgetfulness from the general wrestling public of who you have to be in order to make a team, right? There's a conversation that's been going along, and there's a lot of deliberation. I see Willie's been involved in it lately, where guys are going to wrestle for different countries. Now, whether that's because of pedigree or lineage or an ode to their family ties, or on my behalf, I think it's just easier to make teams and wrestle and compete at the World Olympic Games because you have dual citizenship because your grandpa or grandpa were from these countries. And I think if you look at that, you recognize that it's very difficult to make a team here in America. Sometimes to be a world team member, you have to beat the best wrestler in the world. And I think that's the case in a lot of these situations here that you're going to see this weekend. And so reflecting on my career, it's been really cool because I've been able to beat some guys that have been serious contenders worldwide. And I look at the fact that Kyle Dake was a 4-time finalist, 4-time champ. David Taylor was a 4-time finalist, 2-time champ. Isaiah Martinez is a 4-time finalist, 2-time champ. I was actually hoping possibly to get Nolf because he was a 4-time finalist and a 3-time champ, right? So I think that there's always a resume building opportunity every time I wrestle at the trials. But beyond that, I think that the cool thing about it is we both see what adjustments that we've made over the last year. And I think that, like Kyle said, you're able to reflect in those moments like, okay, this guy's improved here. Let's see what he's got. I can't watch an athlete against another person and prepare for him in my matchup because of what I've seen and the way they've approached someone else. I know that what he's going to do tomorrow is going to be much different than the way he would wrestle a Belarusian. And so just thinking about that, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to the opportunity, and it's going to be a fun evening tomorrow.
This question's for Precious Bell. Menlo has had an amazing year with success at the WCWAs, the NAIAs, and with wrestlers like yourself and other top individual wrestlers. What's your experience been competing for a college program with success Menlo's had?
So I want to give a big shout out to my coaches. 2 of them are here, and one of them actually had a baby last night too that couldn't be here. So I love that team so much. I literally love that team so much. It's literally my heart. I literally started there. I learned how to shoot there 3 years ago. My coaches were, trying to figure out how to, get me and get my head game strong because I was not there. But look at me now 3 years later. But being part of that team is crazy. We have our coaches that just believe, gave us a dream, taught us how to, just grind. Everyone's going to have something to say, or this person's better than you, or you can't do this, or this team's ranked 7th. But it takes us in that mat room to grind hard, to, just starts with you first. So our coaches just had us believe in it. My coach always has this term that's called get tough. And every moment you have something bad to say or some kind of complaint or anything, he always says get tough. And that's something I go by. I get tough. I get tough real good too. So it's just keep going. We grinded this year. We proved a lot of people wrong, and that's like my favorite thing is to hear everyone have those negative things to say and just shut them up instantly. And that's what Menlo did. 2 times champs.
Joe, this is your first time sitting out. What's it like? How does it feel?
Feels great. It's good. Body feels good. It's good to focus and, just take the time to recover the body and, get ready for whoever was going to come through. And like Jordan was saying, I mean, there's going to be guys coming for you, like for the spot. There's guys coming for you, and I was ready. I'm ready for whoever came through, and it's Tyler Graff. We've had a little bit of a history before, and I'm ready to take him out.
Snowflake here. One, Kyvan, I just want to give you a clap for your outfit. I think it looks phenomenal. My question is actually for Sarah Hildebrandt, though, taking a silver medal last year. how has that motivated you this year just to improve, and what changes have you made looking forward to this year being a very dominant wrestler on the world scene?
So coming into the season with a silver medal is definitely very encouraging at first. You're motivated, fired up. You know, it's that one spot below what we're all working for. So that fire just to get to that next level, that one next step. But also with that said, as you continue to climb the ranks and get better and better, finding those adjustments, obviously endless, but can get harder and harder. They can be smaller and smaller. It's like chiseling a rock. It's like really easy to make big adjustments at first, and you can see them and you can see your improvement. And as time goes on, sometimes they're smaller, minute things, and it's hard to see that, and it can be hard to stay motivated. So I think, you know, that silver medal actually was great because I'm going into one more World Championships 2020 after that, and I'm hungry still. I have something I need to chase that keeps that motivation alive, and just kind of be obsessed with that idea to keep finding those little things, those little places where I can improve to go really far away. So that's really been my game plan, is just to kind of be obsessed with it, you know, obsessed with that evolution, as, you know, Jordan and everyone's been saying. So it's been fun, and I'm looking forward to tomorrow.
I got a quick one for James Green. Serious question. Your wife just said, like, where are you going to sleep tonight? How's that? Your wife's in the hospital, right? But
Yes.
you need to get rest tonight.
Yeah, so, yeah, she understands. She's happy. Baby's happy, healthy. Her mom's actually able to make it out. And she's with her right now, so I'm going to go check in and kind of get to enjoy our king bed by myself. We'll get some great sleep while I can for this weekend, and then, yeah, you know, enjoy that rest while I can, but I'm excited to wrestle, so.
A question for Isaiah and Kyvan. You guys both have rematches. Isaiah mentioned you're thinking about it for 365 days. So I was just wondering, what's different over the last 365 days? Training, mindset, how are you approaching the match?
I think, I mean, as Jordan alluded to earlier, right? I was hanging around with the national team and going to the world team camp, and just paying my dues and being a good teammate and also trying to learn from some of the best guys in the world, right? We have some of the best wrestlers in the entire world in our country, and I got to travel around with them and just being around those guys. I was able to make adjustments in my wrestling, physically, in my mind, and when you wake up and you see it every day, it gets a lot closer when you see it every single day. I think for me the biggest adjustment was in my mind, right? It's not so far away. It's right. I mean, it's right there, and there are adjustments technically, but for me, I made a jump mentally, and like it's right. It's staring right in front of me, and all I have to do is go take it, and it's not going to be easy, but it's right there. So just being around great guys all summer, and I was able to make some great jumps.
Yeah, I'll just echo what Isaiah said. Same thing, just working on the mind. I think that's always been my biggest either strength or my biggest weakness, in not being so inconsistent. I think consistency creates character, and it creates championships. So for me, it was about becoming consistent in everything that I do, in my mindset, in my training, and my belief in myself and what I'm capable of, and not just looking at stuff based off potential. You know, I don't want to be a potential guy, a guy that could potentially won a world championship or potentially won Olympic championships. I want to experience those things. So I think it was about consistency for me.
On behalf of Mercury Wrestling Club and Andy Barth, I just want to say our reward is you guys being the best you can be. That's really what we look for. And when you're wrestling each other and you're Titan Mercury, I remember Yojiro Yutaki, who was one of the greats, two-time Olympic champion, never lost in college. He said, there's never been a horse that couldn't be rode and never been a man that couldn't be throwed. So get after it.
Congratulations to James and to Precious Bell's coach. My question's actually for Catherine. You had a baby 2 years ago, I believe, is that right? And now you're potentially 2 matches away from making a world team. Can you talk a little bit about that journey?
Yeah, actually, another connection here, Precious and I, I'm a Menlo alum, current Menlo. So, but we were actually just talking, she was talking about her journey like a year ago, where she was in her mindset, like about focusing on Final X. And I was kind of like, well, a year ago, I didn't even know I was going to be wrestling. Like I wasn't sure what I would be doing. And it's been about a 9-month journey now to this process. And, it really started with like just that hunger to get back on the mat. Like, I think we can all relate that we just like, when we're off the mat, we have like an ache to like physically feel wrestling. And so that just kind of kept coming back. So I kept finding places to wrestle. And then I was really fortunate to find DCO MMA in Westminster, Colorado, and working with Coach Stephen Paprocki, my teammate Kat Paprocki. Really fortunate to find them because I needed somewhere that would work for me and like this new landscape I was kind of navigating as a mom. And I was kind of bringing my baby, who's 20 months, so we're not quite a year yet, but bringing him to random wrestling practices, to MMA wrestling practices, and having him like in a seat, and sometimes he'd be like crawling off, and I have to like leave the wrestling mat and go get him. It's been kind of a wild ride, but it's kind of built my character to this point, and now I'm in a place with DCO where we have a game plan in everything that we do, and I'm just really fortunate to have such a supportive team, to have Titan Mercury support me and understand like what my life looks like now as a mom, I hope that I can encourage other athletes, even the women that are competing now, see that like this is possible, that you can come back and you can compete as a mom. And just hopefully our future, that there's future support for moms, and for, if these wrestlers want to be pregnant and come right back and wrestle, hopefully we'll see that there's support for that. So, yeah.
Yeah, one for Colton. Colton, you're kind of the baby of the group.
Pretty big baby.
A big baby. But you've been making world teams at every level, and probably from afar, you've watched Adam win a cadet world title, go double bronze in freestyle and Greco at juniors, and then obviously watch his run last year. What has it been like watching Adam through those years, and how do you view him? And the second part of that question is, I know you guys have trained together occasionally. What's your comfortability, confidence level? How have those goes gone?
Yeah, I mean, it's been pretty cool being able to watch everything he's done. Seeing USA Greco on the podium, especially at heavyweight, it's pretty cool. I got a lot of respect for him for that. But at the same time, I realize it's a guy I gotta go through if I want to be a world champ, if I want to be an Olympic champ. So training with him, what happens in the training room stays in the training room. We've had some good fights, good battles. I'm excited for tomorrow, and I know if I wrestle well, things can go my way.
For Isaiah, you're wrestling maybe one of the best edge wrestlers ever. Last year, the first match, it was all step outs. Can you speak about the importance of edge wrestling, and maybe articulate to the fans back home some of the challenges that a wrestler like Jordan presents on the edge?
Yeah, I mean, Final X last year was 3 or 4 months after the NCAA championship, right? So I was wrestling freestyle for a total of 3 months, just focusing on that. And I think one of the things that's underrated about Jordan is when his bread and butter stuff's not working, he's pretty good. He's pretty good at finding other avenues to score. Right? He's a great tactician. Yeah. So right. So he found a way to exploit something that I wasn't quite at that level yet with. But since then I've shored it up, and I don't know. I think it's going to be an entirely different match. There's going to be different kind of scoring positions, and my knowledge has increased, and our knowledge of each other. We've wrestled quite a bit during the summer, so we're pretty familiar. But as you asked, I mean, edge wrestling is very important. You can't get pushed out, and you got to score push out. So I think I've showed that up pretty good.
This is for Jordan. Can you talk about how the dynamic and landscape of wrestling has changed through your career and how you've stayed hungry in competition throughout those years?
Yeah, I look around this table. A lot of these men and women here were babies when I won my first world championships back in 2011. I'm an old man now. Is there anyone 30 here? Catherine, how old are you?
31.
31. Okay, so someone's older than me. But no, it's been a blessing because I've seen the transition that USA Wrestling has made. I think back to where we were before I arrived on the scene. I believe it was 2010. The World Championships were either in Moscow or Denmark. Moscow, I believe it was, right? And we had 0 medalists. We won a total of 5 matches, and we finished like 17th in the world as a team. And then fast forward the following year, we won a bronze as a team, and I was a world champion. Jake Varner was a bronze medalist. Tervel Delagna was a 5th place, and Cale Sanderson was a 5th place. And now to the progression of us being a perennial powerhouse, being world team champions, World Cup champions, being runner-ups last year, we're in a really good place. And I think wrestling has really improved at a grassroots level. If you look around this table, a lot of the people that are making it to the finals of the trials and Final X are very young. College guys like Yanni and Dayton and Gable and all of these young men that have spent time at the training center at a young age. They've made cadet and junior world teams. That's really helped to improve the landscape of wrestling. And so USA Wrestling has done a really good job, and now I think that 10-year plan is finally starting to come to fruition because of all of the structure that they implemented a long time ago. And I'm just a guy that gets to benefit from being at the beginning and now seeing its culmination and its actual arrival. So it's pretty cool, right? I feel like Kyle Lowry on Toronto Raptors, right? He's the longest tenured Raptor, went through all the struggles of losing in the Eastern Conference semifinals, finals, first round of the playoffs. And then you get a guy like Kawhi Leonard, Kyle Snyder, right? And then you become team champions. And so it's a beautiful thing to see it at its worst, to go from being the only superhero to being part of the Avengers. It's a pretty cool thing.
This is for Adam. So you saw Gable Stevenson in the freestyle trials, a young guy, and now you're going to face Colton, even younger guy. How do you stay motivated knowing that this younger generation, these guys are right on your tail?
Well, that's motivation in itself, as the younger guys are right on the tail. So, you don't have many years to get it all in before they start taking it over. So, that's my motivation right there. Make sure I'm making the most of these opportunities, and, hopefully it's more than just one go.
Kyle, are you going to stay in Toronto or go to the Clippers?
I don't follow that.
This is for Jordan and James. Jordan, you talked about the progression of Team USA Wrestling, but being from Nebraska, you've kind of seen the progression of wrestling as a whole, especially in high school, guys never going out and becoming state champions. What's that kind of like, being kind of the influential pieces to, high school wrestling around here? You saw girls wrestling on the docket for Nebraska, and kind of just seeing the changes going place around here as well.
It's pretty cool, especially coming from New Jersey, and where New Jersey is just a little bit more popular wrestling, and everything's close together. You drive down the highway, 10, 20 minutes, you're past 3-4 clubs. Here in Nebraska, everything's kind of spread out. So you have people Western Nebraska, mid Nebraska, and then here Lincoln and Omaha. And it's nice to know that there are wrestlers, there are kids that like the sport. They want to participate. They want to get on freestyle teams, Greco teams. They want to wrestle for Team USA. And we actually had here in Nebraska, we had our team camps and our freestyle camp going on. And just to have those kids come around and being able to follow the sport, it's great. I just know that when I was coming up, a couple days ago, I got to tell the kids about, Flow is just growing. So when I was in high school, when I was coming up, I didn't really follow wrestling just in my area. But now with social media and how things are going, it's nice that these kids, they know each other before they even get in the room. They know who they're going to be around. They know what's possible with wrestling, where they can go if they stick to the program. And to see that here in Nebraska and be a part of it, knowing that I went to university, I can go out, have some lunch or something, see some fans, see some kids, and yeah, they know you, they appreciate you, and I appreciate them, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'll kind of just compound on that quickly. We've just been able to be ambassadors for the sport here in this area, and events like this get to come to Nebraska. In a non-traditional wrestling state, you have the best wrestlers in the world in Lincoln, Nebraska. And if you are remotely even close to being a wrestling fan or engaged in this sport at all, it's a beautiful place to be. Tomorrow, I believe it's either today or tomorrow, there's a free clinic by Kendrick Maple and Tyler Berger, both NCAA finalists. Kendrick was an NCAA champion. If you attend this clinic, which is free, and you're from the ages of 8 to 18 years old, you get a free ticket to Final X tomorrow. So it's like things like that that you can't really put a price on. Individuals in this state that love the sport and that want to improve in it have it right at their back door, and they have access to it like many people around the world do not. And I think that James and I have been able to kind of be the ambassadors and the pioneers on that forefront, and so it's been a cool thing.
This question's for Elaine Gray. Speaking of pioneers and ambassadors, you've had a very active role supporting girls and women's wrestling. You coach at Wyoming Seminary, you write monthly columns for Win Magazine, you support nonprofit Wrestle Like a Girl, et cetera, et cetera. In your opinion, what should the current focus be for the wrestling community to productively and effectively support the growth and popularity of girls and women's wrestling?
I think exactly that. I think it's just getting support, getting more people to change their minds and support women and see how much it's grown and what great ambassadors that we have sitting up here and young girls who look up to them. I got to have breakfast and dinner this past week with a group of young girls who are starting a club in Colorado Springs, and it's really cute to see them excited and happy and learning that they're strong and powerful, and they get to reach skill sets that they never even thought was imaginable for them. And so I think it's just providing that equality and making sure that we understand that we're here to grow the sport as a whole, to grow men's and women's wrestling, to make sure that we are getting, the support for NCAA D1. I mean, emerging sports status is huge, and just to continue that path and make sure that we are growing as a whole.
Kayla, we had a conversation a few weeks ago about the stats on taking on a returning world medalist, and it's not so good for the challenger, but it's an opponent that you've beaten multiple times before. What's going through your head, and what's training been like for you to kind of turn that stat on its head and potentially try to knock off someone who, again, stats are in their favor?
Obviously, since the World Championships, I've known that Mallory's who I have to beat. She was sitting. So there's been some focus on her. Everyone's going to focus on their opponents, see where they can improve and see where I can tackle some of her flaws. But just focusing on becoming the best wrestler that I can be and looking at winning a world title and winning an Olympic title and not just stopping here. Like, this isn't the end game. The end game is that world and Olympic gold. So just keeping that focus.
All right, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for coming.